Okay, in the episode 1 cliffhanger, they are literally hanging on a cliff. We'll rejoin the Jupiter 2 crew as we go to episode 2 of Lost in Space after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and we are binge watching Lost in Space, but reviewing it one at a time. So in case you're not binging and trying to space it out, we hope that this is providing some kind of service to you. We find they're stuck on a waterfall edge, and there's also something we'll call killer kelp. Apparently the ship is, ever since getting in the water, is becoming kind of coated with seaweed that does not want to let go. And while they are trying to clean up, Penny and Don West are trying to clean up the kelp around the engines, just in case it would cause some problems with that, a piece of it wraps around Don's leg and he loses feeling in it. Evidently, there's some poisonous nature to this and some part of it that doesn't want to let go as well. Penny falls in and Maureen goes in after her, and they both go over the falls. John already somewhat injured, it becomes a difficult thing now to figure out just how we're going to find Penny and Maureen. Well, as it turns out, they had kind of a soft landing. It wasn't nearly as deep as it looked like. However, they find some strange hieroglyphics, which Maureen takes a picture of, and a lightning rod of some sort. And apparently this trench is something that was made by something intelligent. It wasn't a natural situation. The lightning itself is being attracted to this area. So they figured that the Jupiter 2 hanging on the waterfall is okay, and all they have to do to get Maureen and Penny back up is just to lower some of the kite string and pull them back up before the lightning comes. And, of course, it has to happen at the last minute before they're able to get out, and they have to go through a number of creative ways of trying to get them back, as the first couple of plans don't work. Meanwhile, Don West is practically unconscious, and Judy is having to deal with him by giving him some antidotes to the poison and using some kind of laser cutter in order to remove the killer kelp. She puts it into medical waste, but Dr. Smith, who once again is very handy, being the only person who has his blood type for a transfusion that he needs, happens to be in the room as well and is able to pull away one of the tentacles of this killer kelp for whatever use she might have for it later. Meantime, while Don is recovering and barely able to speak, Smith explains her plan and holds over him the fact that she knows that he's a smuggler and therefore would be in as bad a state with the Robinsons as she would. He disagrees with that representation, but nevertheless listens to what she has to say, since he has no choice than to do so. And what it is that she wants to split up the Robinsons, only keep a couple that she needs in order to get her where she needs to go. And that is the idea. She does not believe that the Robinsons sticking together is in her favor, and what she needs to do is break off a couple of them who are already kind of disgruntled, like Penny, for instance. So that is one that she works on. She reads Penny's book when Maureen does not. And that becomes an issue down in the trench when Penny and Maureen are trying to get themselves out before the lightning comes. Somehow it is portrayed that Dr. Smith has more humanity than your average one-dimensional bad guy, which was the original Dr. Smith's kind of thing. And I find that it's interesting that she is still compelling to watch, even though you kind of wish they'd just get rid of her and get along with what they're doing. But it would seem that they wouldn't have anything to worry about if she wasn't around trying to sabotage them all the time. That was basically the way the original Lost in Space worked. Virtually everything that happened to them was a mixture of a real danger and of Dr. Smith making it worse in order for Dr. Smith to help kind of get them out of it. And so that kept him around. And in this case, it's doing the same for this imposter of a Dr. Smith. The teamwork that continues with the Robinsons, the fact that they always stick together, the fact that even though they have their differences with each other, they are very unified. And most of them still pretty much hate Dr. Smith. So despite her efforts to kind of peel them off, we don't know how successful that's going to be. But that apparently is going to be something that is ongoing through this season. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you know when the next video is coming. We're going to do one more Lost in Space video, and then we're going to cover the third episode actually, of Doctor Who on Sunday. So watch for our video on that. But by subscribing and clicking the bell, we will let you know. So please do that, and until next time, don't go far.